Hey everybody, welcome back to the layout. Griff 13 here, and as you may have noticed, I've got a few new things on the workbench and on track. The first, in the background, what do we got going on here? Well, so this is a piece of flex track, as I jank it around like a heathen. This is what my painted track looks like. Now, I paint all my track with Rust-Oleum spray paint. It's quick, it's easy, it gets the job done. Now, I had an extra piece of track left over, and I decided to just clip the ties off of it and use that to fill in all the little gaps on the track where my rail joiners were. So the only spots left where there are gaps in the ties, such as right here and all down this industrial track, is where I want there to be gaps, because I want that track to look kind of beat up. But this weekend's big project has been working on this Walther's rubber mat style grade crossing. I decided I wanted to go with that for my crossing pads because it's pretty prototypical, commonly seen in my neck of the woods. And frankly, it was just a really cool kit that Walther's had on sale back around Black Friday of last year, and I scooped it up, and I've kind of been waiting to do anything with it, but we're at that point now. So, let me show you a little bit about what it comes with. Unfortunately, I didn't think to film any of this before I started working on it, but as you can see here, it's all plastic parts, and it actually comes with a few street pieces that I'm not going to be using, partly because these roads here are just frankly too wide for what I'm looking to do. I'm not doing city streets, I'm doing kind of a country road, if you will. So it's just a little bit too wide for what I need. Now, because of that, I did have to trim these crossing board pieces quite a bit. This is trimmed down to 4 panels, and you can see here, this is what it would have been like full length. Now, these pieces, if I can get it to focus here, they do have, there we go, that really nice rubber texture to them. I really like it. But of course, the color is just kind of a grayish primer plastic. That is where good old Walmart apple barrel paint comes in. I used about 3 parts black and 1 part pavement just because I wanted it to still have that kind of glossy rubber shine to it. I think most of you have probably seen these in real life at some point, and you know that the rubber kind of has a little bit brighter shine to it than the roadway does, especially if it's an asphalt roadway. So that's why I went with the black, because it had kind of a satin finish, but just a little bit of the pavement mixed in there, the matte pavement, to kind of dull it down a little bit. As I'm sure you can also see, I did add some of my cork road bed that I use for my track. To build this road, I wanted the main road to be elevated and up to close to the same height as the rail. In real life, a lot of times the roadway does rise a little bit to meet the crossing, but in the Midwest, a lot of our roads are also built up with a little bit of a slope off, usually into the fields and the grass. So the Walther street crossing system does come with enough parts to do a double track crossing, or of course just a single track. Again, it's all plastic, so it's very modular. You can cut it as needed. I just, like I said, shortened mine down to about a 4-planker, which is, again, pretty prototypical of the size crossing for this type of road. Now, we'll grab the glue and we'll get that second crossing boards back here installed on the industrial lead. I've just been using some clear gel tacky glue from Walmart. It's a couple bucks. It's really helped these adhere really well to the ties. The nice thing, hopefully it'll show on camera, as you can see, these are beveled underneath, so they sit very well on the ties and snug right up to the rails, just like that. Alright, so now with the boards in place, we're going to take some rolling stock and just roll it through the crossing, make sure the boards aren't touching the rails and there's still free movement of rail cars. Maybe I should have picked a better rolling one, but as you can see, that moves through just fine. So I'm going to let that joint compound sit on top of there and help hold that down as some added weight while it dries. And it's a bit of foreshadowing because, yep, we got our pop dot tape and we are taking this technique straight from Top Railroad on YouTube. If you don't follow him, go check out his channel, subscribe, like his videos. He does amazing work. And a lot of the ideas of this layout I've actually gotten from him. So, again, big shout out to Top Railroad. I don't know what type of joint compound he uses for his roads. Frankly, this is just what was on sale at the time at Home Depot. A lot of this layout is being done on more of a budget scale, if you will. I'm not going for maybe the specific name brands that everybody would use. I'm just an everyday guy who's just piecing this together. So we're going to try this Drydex joint compound for a road, see how it works out. Alright guys, so as you can see the road is painted. I do still intend on getting some kind of gravel fill in these areas to kind of lessen that severe drop off on the shoulder, but obviously a little bit of paint touch up to do here with a little bit of the black to cover up that white. But hey, let's go ahead and give her a test, see how it's doing. Hey guys, so I just wanted to say apologies to everybody who hasn't seen an update from me in a while. We had a bit of a move going on with the family into a bigger house, and that did not go through. We had everything all packed up in boxes and ready to go, and there was a lot of things that we found wrong with the house during the home inspection, and some further issues that came up during the appraisal, and some disagreements between us and the seller over who was going to cover what. So the layout was actually in storage for a while. was one of the first things I packed up because it was what I was most worried about moving, to be perfectly honest. Um, but put it back up in a kind of temporary capacity on legs, instead of mounted to the wall, which I had always kind of planned around being able to do that if I wanted to. And it allows me to still work on it and now run some trains while we look for a new house again. And as you can see, I have some new stuff to show off. So if you stuck it out this long to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Let's give you a look at how this sounds. Wonderful sound, audio, and weathering detail done by my good friend over at Upstate Custom Models. We'll put a link of his in the description. Go check him out if you need any work done. He does amazing work, and I'll drop all his links and details in the video too. Alright guys, and that'll do it for the latest layout update video. Give you one last look at the new Suffern Hoboken Interstate Transfer hopper car that I received from Facebook from a guy who was selling it on there. I don't think I have to tell you what lines that is, just a pretty funny car to have. And of course the latest addition to the railroad here, the MEC 618, custom weathered, custom detailed, and with a custom sound valve courtesy of Upstate Custom Models. Matt really knocked it out of the park on this, and I think after I'm done cleaning track here, we're going to do a full video on this engine, so look for that in the future. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.